Michael Jackson. Who doesn't know him? Michael Jackson was an American pop singer. He was known as the King of Pop. His album Thriller is the best-selling album in pop music. He started singing with his brothers when he was little with the band the Jackson 5. Later, Michael started working for himself. Famous singles include Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller, Bad and Earth Song. Thriller was sometimes seen as a movie because of its long 15-minute music video. He also became known for his dance, the moonwalk. Michael died on Thursday, June 25, 2009, after suffering cardiac arrest around noon at his Los Angeles residence. Jackson reportedly took an overdose of the anesthetic propofol. He had the drug administered by a private physician because he suffered from chronic insomnia. Michael Jackson was 50 years old. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston is a highly successful soul and R&B singer who scored many hits starting in the 1980s. She started singing in a gospel choir as a little girl. She broke through once when Michael Jackson's brother made a deal for her with the record label, Arista Records. Whitney scored hits with I Will Always Love You, I Wanna Dance with Somebody and I Have Nothing. She died on February 11, 2012 at the age of 48. The singer was found dead while taking a bath in her hotel room at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills. A cocktail of drugs, including cocaine, Xanax and marijuana, proved fatal to her. John F. Kennedy. He was also called JFK by his supporters, U.S. President John F. Kennedy. Kennedy was an American politician of the Democratic Party. As of January 20, 1961, he was the 35th and youngest elected president of the United States. He became especially popular for his actions during the Cuba crisis, his charm and personality and his commitment to the poor and civil rights. During a presidential visit to Dallas, Texas on November 22, 1963, John F. Kennedy was shot to death as he drove through the city with his wife and staff. John F. Kennedy's grave is in the famous Arlington National Cemetery, near the Pentagon. His final resting place is visited daily by many Americans and tourists. Kennedy died at the age of 46. Elvis Presley. Elvis Aaron Presley was born on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi. During childbirth, his twin brother Jesse Garon is born lifeless. Elvis grew up as a shy boy, regularly bullied at school. From his hard-earned money, Elvis recorded his own record in 1953 as a present for his mother's birthday. This is done in the studio of Sun Records. The record costs Elvis $4. But studio owner Sam Phillips was so impressed with Elvis' voice and appearance that he offered him a recording contract. Together with two guitarists, Elvis records a raucous, Western version of the black blues classic, That's All Right, Mama. It is July 5, 1954, a day when, unbeknownst to him, music history is being made. Indeed, the career of the world's greatest rock and roll artist has begun. Hundreds of millions of Elvis records were sold worldwide. His popularity is unprecedented. The whole world was shocked and saddened when Elvis died on August 16, 1977, at the age of 42, from a combination of obesity and excessive use of medication and drugs. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, pseudonym of Norma Jean Mortensen, was an American fashion model, actress and singer. In the 1950s and 1960s, Marilyn Monroe was just about the most desirable woman on earth. She made a career as a fashion model and later an actress and managed to gain a prominent position in American high society. Marilyn suffered from depression and mental disorders. In 1961, she spent 4 days, against her will, in a psychiatric hospital. In letters she wrote to her psychiatrist, she says she felt confined and treated like a lunatic. Marilyn Monroe was one of the most popular and famous movie stars in the world. She was plagued by inner demons and gave up her fight against them in August 1962. A forensic examination revealed that Monroe died of an overdose of sleeping pills. She was 36 years old. Princess Diana. On August 31, 1997, Lady Diana Spencer, Princess of Wales, died in a car accident in a tunnel near the Pont de l'Alma in Paris. Diana was in the car along with her boyfriend Dodi Fayed and their driver. The bodyguard was the only one to survive the accident. A year after divorcing Prince Charles, with whom she has 2 sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, Princess Diana is in love again. Billionaire son Dodi Fayed wants to propose to her, but paparazzi are hot on the couple's heels through the streets of Paris. At 100 km per hour, the black Mercedes tears through the heart of Paris. The driver loses control of the wheel, and in the tunnel under the Place de l'Alma Square, the car crashes into the right wall of the tunnel. It is only after less than an hour that emergency workers manage to free Diana from the car wreckage. For more than an hour and a half, the medics fight for the princess's life, but unfortunately to no avail. At the time of her death, Diana had just a year of total freedom from the British royal family, following the final divorce from Charles in 1996. But so she also no longer had protection and was hounded everywhere by paparazzi. Diana continued to work for charities, which she did as a member of the royal family. She received much praise for that, but she was mostly engaged in a search for herself, which, unfortunately, she was never able to complete. Lady Di was one of Britain's most famous and beloved royals. Princess Diana died at the age of 36. Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was an American singer, poet and lyricist. He was the lead singer of the band The Doors. Without Morrison, The Doors would have been an unremarkable band and the group would have been long forgotten. Morrison was more than a rock and roll singer, more than an entertainer, he was a man of vision, searching like a man possessed for the lost paradise. Jim Morrison also wrote several collections of poetry. Morrison saw music as a tool for his poetry, and with his strong theatrical personality and evocative poetry, concerts by The Doors became overwhelming, with Morrison genially managing to establish direct contact with the audience. Not infrequently, his drinking and drug use at performances threw a spanner in the works. He died at the age of 27 under circumstances that have never been fully clarified, probably as a result of a drug overdose. As the official cause of death, the death certificate lists a heart attack. He was reportedly found lying in a bathtub. Jim Morrison is still admired today and thousands of people listen to his music every day. Morrison was a great idol to many people and, above all, someone they admired. Despite his death in 1971, his soul still lives on in many people. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was an influential American guitarist and singer-songwriter. He became known for his virtuosic, flamboyant guitar playing. He revolutionized guitar playing through the use of new chords, feedback and innovative recording techniques. Hendrix died at the Samarkand Hotel in London on September 18, 1970, at the age of 27. However, the exact circumstances of his death have never been fully clarified. According to media reports, he had choked on his own vomit after falling into a coma after overdosing on sleeping pills and drinking some wine. According to one book, Hendrix allegedly died on a gurney in the corridor of the London hospital to which he was transferred. Because he was African American, he was reportedly not looked after, or no one knew who he was. According to still others, Hendrix was murdered by his manager Michael Jeffrey. An awful lot of uncertainty about the death of one of the best guitarists of all time. Although he ended up enjoying his success for only 4 years, the guitarist left a mark on the world of rock music. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse was a British jazz and soul singer. She became known in the United Kingdom with her album Frank. She became known in the rest of the world with her album Back to Black, which included the hit singles Rehab and Back to Black. Winehouse was often in the news negatively because of her alcohol and drug addiction. She became the first British to win 5 Grammy Awards. On Saturday, July 23, 2011, Winehouse was found dead by her bodyguard in the bedroom of her North London apartment. The autopsy performed on her body on July 25, 2011, did not reveal a clear cause of death at that time. Additional toxicology tests took several more weeks, but also did not provide a clear cause of death. Finally, on October 26, 2011, it was officially announced that Winehouse had died of alcohol poisoning. Winehouse died at the age of 27. Tupac. Tupac is a successful rapper and actor from New York who scored hits in the mid-1990s with Dear Mama and California Love. He is considered by many to be one of the most influential rappers of all time. He is also one of the best-selling rap artists, with more than 75 million records sold worldwide. Tupac was shot on September 7, 1996, and died of his injuries 6 days later. To date, the perpetrator of the assassination attempt has not been found. Tupac's death does not mean the end of his music. Mysteriously, recordings of him are popping up everywhere, even so many that 5 more albums of it could be released. Tupac died at the age of 25. Thanks for watching this video. Would you give us a like? Let us know what you want to see next.